I'm Matt Bichar with NAREIT's REIT.com, here in Florida for the 2016 Leader in the Light Working Forum. Joining me today is Will Teichman, Senior Director of Strategic Operations with Kimco Realty Corporation. Will, thanks so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Now, first, can you update me on the company's Illumination program and what sort of results you're seeing?
Sure. Well, we began this program at the beginning of 2015, so it was our first year, and the focus of Illumination is to retrofit all of our Tier 1 properties with LED lighting. We launched the program last year with the ambitious goal of retrofitting over 100 properties, representing about a quarter of our total net asset value as a company. And I'm proud and excited to report that we achieved that goal and exceeded that goal, retrofitting over 100 properties. And the results of those projects have really been dramatic, really through any measurement. From an energy savings perspective, we're delivering on average between 20 and 30% savings at most properties. But I think more importantly, we're delivering significantly improved lighting quality at the centers. And that's really what we're hearing from our stakeholders, is that what really is visible to them is the dramatic improvement in nighttime lighting.
Now, Kimco was recently named to the Dow Jones Sustainability North America Index. What does that move mean for the company in terms of being able to attract non-REIT investors?
We were excited to be the only brick and mortar REIT to be named to the North America Index last year. So a real significant accomplishment that we're quite proud of. And I think DJSI really deviates from some of the other forums in that the interested parties in DJSI include a wide swath of investors who aren't just necessarily focused on real estate. So if you look at a forum like GRESB that we've been participating in actively over the last several years, and which many NAREIT member companies respond to, the primary interested parties behind GRESB are those REIT investors or institutional real estate investors. So by being a part of the Dow Jones Sustainability Index, we're within a peer group of many other companies, most of whom, in fact, are outside of the real estate industry.
Now, can you talk a little bit about the company's recently completed Tenant Up Fit Standard?
Sure. Construction standards has been a priority for us over the last couple of years. Heading out of the recession, the existing operations of the properties that we owned was really the focus because there wasn't, frankly, a lot of new construction happening. And as that construction activity has started to pick up, both in terms of greenfield development as well as redevelopment and infill development, setting more defined standards around sustainable construction has become a big priority for us. So we started with that last year by defining a tenant upfit standard. So if you think about the volume of activity that happens within our shopping centers on an annual basis, we move several hundred tenants in and out of spaces on a quarterly basis. So we're very focused on establishing some standards around which they can adopt best practices for using sustainable materials and processes in the construction of those spaces.
And lastly, what are some of the biggest challenges complying with mandatory energy disclosure laws?
5 years ago, there were no mandatory energy disclosure laws on the books, and now we have, I think, approximately 15 cities and 2 states that have mandatory requirements for disclosure. So it's moved very quickly, and I think it's actually shocked some people in terms of the speed with which these mandates have occurred. From an operations and a compliance perspective, that presents challenges for companies. 2 of those challenges include, first of all, understanding what properties are impacted and are required. That may sound like kind of a silly thing to say, but it's not always clear as a large national portfolio owner which of your properties actually fall specifically within the territories or the municipalities where these requirements are in place. So it's understanding the difference between a city dividing line and a county dividing line in some cases, and also understanding how your tax parcels are recorded on the books for those government entities. So just understanding whether you're impacted or not is kind of step 1, and then step 2 in terms of compliance is really executing on collecting the data and fulfilling the reporting requirements.
Will, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
For more on this and other sustainability news and information, be sure to visit REIT.com.